Everybody, folks, great time. If you want to watch the presentation, Larry's going to have a slide deck, digitalcoinmillionaire.info. Digitalcoinmillionaire info will have it. And like I said, Larry will be coming on just a line right here. He's went to reboot his computer to have a fresh connection, so we have it nice and clear. But awesome having everybody online. Today we're meeting with Larry Benet. Larry Benet is a master network, 20-year friend of mine, and he's just got some great gold nuggets. I was talking to him the other day about what he was teaching in the general public, and I said, wow, Larry, this would really be great for the network marketing industry in general, and just creating relationships in life. And he's developed an awesome presentation for us, and this is not a sell-a-thon. There's no product to buy or anything like that. He's simply going to be sharing with you 5 of the most powerful networking techniques that he's used to become what Forbes calls the most connected guy in America. That's a nice quote to have by Forbes magazine, and certainly lots of other endorsements from some very, very big people that have endorsed him as well. So great to have you all online. Thanks for sharing your hour with us. We'll be getting started here in just a minute. On the YouTube channel, I think I'm going to be, I think also on the Facebook below the presentation, on the presentation, I'll be following any comments as well. So questions, we will be doing a question and answer, so you'll have the opportunity to do that as well. Again, Larry will be coming on here in just a minute. He was just rebooting his computer to make sure everything was clean and going nice and smooth. But my name's Tom McMurian. I'll be your host today, and just excited to bring you this presentation with Larry, and just double checking our audios and everything, make sure everything's running smoothly. But folks, what a great time we have in the world right now. There's just so much change going on. It's almost revolutionary when you look at some of the things that are happening, and just an exciting time to be in business, to be in home-based business. Regardless, whether you're in the nutrition business or the digital currency business or the phone business, there's a lot of people looking for opportunity right now. And you know, one of the ways of helping you get what you want is helping people get what they want. And that's what today's presentation is all about. And that's what we're going to be talking about with Larry Benet. He is rebooting right now based on my recommendation. I should have just kept him on the Hangout because we were together. But he's coming back here in just a second. So today in the presentation, he's going to talk about just his own personal story in networking. I know it very well because I was with him when it was all happening 20+ years ago, and we'll talk a little bit about the story of Larry and I, and how we met, and just all the things that went through it. So Larry, I can see your picture. Can you are you there? Your video? I'm not seeing your video right now. Larry, I got you on picture. You may want to click out of the link and then come back in again. Try that hang up, and then come back into the Hangout one more time. I'm going to drop you the fresh link. Have you click on it one more time, see if that brings you in smooth. Again, folks, we're here with Larry Benet. We're bringing him online right now. My name's Tom McMurian. I'll be your host today. We're going to be talking about bulletproofing your networking and bringing you 5 questions, 5 techniques that will help you expand your base of contacts and really attract people to what you're doing in your business. And let me see, Larry's asking me a question. I'm coming up right here. We were in the Hangout together earlier, and it was working fine. He'll be right back in. Just rebooted his computer. But go ahead. You got a few minutes. As usual, we'll start right at 5 after to give you time to reach out to friends, family, people that you want to have watch this conversation. And I think you're going to love it. Definitely have a pen and paper. You're going to have, he fires off a lot of questions, a lot of great nuggets. Again, the recording, it is recorded. So you'll have the ability to go back through this presentation and this training, and ultimately you'll be able to write down all the questions. And Larry's just he's got a Ferrari between his ears, and it goes Mach 3 when he shifts it into 5th gear. Look out, folks! It's a lot of fun. But just waiting for him to come back online.
To unmute yourself, star key twice.
Hey, how are you, buddy?
Hey, Tom, it's Larry. I don't know if you can see me or hear me.
Let me unmute over here, and hopefully
I can see you now.
you can see me good. You're crystal clear. Give me 1 second. Let me mute something here. I want to turn down the volume on my phone. I've got everybody on the conference call line listening in on my speaker, so they'll be able to hear us.
All right, give me a
Can you
second.
hear me okay, Larry?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just I hear a little echo. It's a lot.
Hear a
of
little bit. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me turn down my speakers a little bit and see if that's the issue. Do you have anything else on your computer? You're just hang out?
No, it's just the presentation. I'm gonna. Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna. Let's see.
All right, folks. Larry, how's that sound? You get any reverb now?
No, just give me 1 second, Tom. I just want to check one thing. I had an issue with something. I just got to.
All right.
Open recent.
We got a full conference call line and a little bit of an echo there.
All right, let's see here.
How you doing? You able to pull up your PowerPoint and all that? You got that ready?
Yeah, give me about 1 more minute. There's
I'll tell you what, Larry, I'm going to go ahead and get started and just going to talk, really set it up, and you can work on that while I'm talking. But
I'll see you in a second.
Definitely got an echo on your side. I'm seeing it. My voice is popping up on your computer. You might want to try and check your microphones up top under settings. There's a little gear next to the phone up top.
Okay.
But you may want to check your microphone, which microphone you're using, if you're using the default or the one on your computer. But
I'll try using my earphone, my earbuds. We'll work on the technology. We'll go from there.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I don't have any feedback now. Does that sound okay for you?
Yep, works for me.
All right, awesome. Well, everyone, I'd like to welcome you to the Saturday training with Larry Benet, How to Bulletproof Your Recruiting. My name is Tom McMurian, and it is a pleasure to have you online with us. If you are on the conference call and you actually want to watch the presentation, you can go to digitalcoinmillionaire.info. And if you wouldn't mind spreading the word in the chat rooms that we have, people are not able to get on. I know the conference call line is full, but digitalcoinmillionaire.info. And you can watch the presentation. That is a no-link training site that you can watch. You can send people to it safely. There are no links on that site. And like I said, today is about value. It's about introducing you to somebody who is a master networker that has really dug very deep into the minds of some of the most powerful, most connected people in the world, all the way up to the President of the United States. And somebody who has connected people and is almost in a masterful skill, created a network of people where he can basically pick up the phone and get just about anything done. And I'm excited about the presentation because I had an opportunity to interview Larry about a year ago when he was in Atlanta, and we just sat down and we were laughing because we've been longtime friends. And we were at a place. He had sold his house in Atlanta, and I said, well, I'll meet you up there. And I said, man, can we do an interview like that? And so Larry and I mean, we made up this makeshift studio. We pulled off lampshades and we put up a wall, and Laura, my wife, was like, oh, we need a picture behind you. So we found this really great picture, and we sat in these chairs, and then we realized we didn't have a tripod. And I was like, no problem. And I pulled out a box and I basically cut out a tripod and I mounted my iPad. And I laughed because I looked back at the video and it looked like we had a professional studio. It was a lot of fun. But Larry and I, we go way back. He'll tell the story of one of the companies that I met him in, and it's an awesome story because it's classic. So many of us have done it. And I smile every time I hear him tell the story because I remember when his friends told the story as well, Scott King, and when they told the story together, it was as good as a comedy show. It was truly one of the funniest stories. But you know, in our business is about helping people get what they want. And I really think that is the core of what today is all about. And I tell everybody, you need to remove yourself from your own self-interests. And you need to understand that by helping people, you've heard it a million times, by helping people get what they want, you can get what you want. And I think that's the message that you're going to hear sound very loudly across this whole presentation. And again, if you're just coming on and you want to get people onto this presentation, they can go to digitalcoinmillionaire.info. There are no links on that site. It's just a straight a training site where you can send people. And today is really for all networkers. This isn't just for people in OneCoin. We opened up this presentation to the whole network marketing community because we want you to walk away with value. We want you to walk away saying, hey, I'm going to go use Larry's techniques and I'm going to go build something big. And it's just it's an exciting time to have you on board, Larry. Let me back up 20 something years ago when we were both a little bit skinnier. And you know, the reason we were skinnier is because we were eating out of a change jar, and that was the Subway change jar, as I called it, when we weren't eating hot dogs and hamburgers. And Larry and I, picture this, we were in Atlanta in a 2-bedroom apartment. And we had a duplex. We lived next to these girls that were next door to us. I don't know if you remember that, Larry, some crazy girls, but they, we were always working. They were always partying. And so we had this office. We had this office built in my walk-in closet off the back of my room. And we built this L-shaped desk out of particle board, and we put 2 office chairs in there. And it was kind of our command central, if you want. I mean, when I got some nice phones and stuff like that and had our computers in there, that was almost before the day of computers. That was darn close, but I think we had one. But it was funny because I remember laying in bed, and Larry and I, we were in the insurance business. We were doing network marketing. We were kind of finding our way and cutting our teeth in getting into the business community, and probably doing it in many of the wrong ways, except for we had a tremendous work ethic. We worked all the time, and it was all work and not a lot of fun. But that's only because, you know, we were out there making it happen. You know, Larry, you know, I'm sitting here, I'm laying in bed one morning, and I hear Larry talking to this guy. And he's on the phone and, you know, standing there unshaven, probably in his boxer shorts as normal. That was kind of our normal office outfits. And he's talking this incredible game to this guy. And I'm like, who is Larry talking to? And I mean, I'm sitting there going, you know, Larry's, he's this insurance executive. He's working in Atlanta. He's doing executive planning, blah, blah, blah. And he's just, I mean, it was amazing how powerful his talk was with this guy. And he's talking to him, and I'm listening to the conversation. I'm like, man, Larry just, I mean, he sounds so confident. He's so sincere. He really is into the conversation. And I remember him getting off the phone, and I'm like, who were you talking to? And he goes, oh, it's Dan Kennedy. I'm like, Dan Kennedy, like the book that we're both reading right now, the copywriting book, Dan Kennedy? He goes, yeah. I'm like, so you just picked up the phone and called the guy? And he goes, yeah, you know, and it was so amazing because I saw that courage and that desire to want to reach out to people. And really what he was asking Dan is, could you help me? And I tell people, you know, the most powerful words in the English language are, can you help me? You know, and that was one thing that Larry was so masterful in connecting with people. And then I guess he figured out the second part of the equation, which he'll talk to you about today, which made all the difference in the world, that took him to an amazing level in business. I mean, he has praises from Jack Canfield, Chicken Soup of the Soul, Forbes magazine, Les Brown, the biggest people in the industry know Larry. Tony Hsieh with Zappos. You know, I mean, Larry is so, his black book is so unbelievable, and the people that he knows, it's kind of like if I need to connect with somebody, I say, Larry, do you know so and so? Oh yeah, but he'll know like somebody 5 above them. You know, and it's truly amazing. But you know, Larry, we kind of went our separate ways for, I want to say 12 years or something like that, and really didn't think anything of it. And I was sitting in the MGM, and here comes Larry walking down, and he's got like 2 phones going on. He's got phone cords hanging out of his ears. He's got a backpack on, and he's going Mach 3 with his hair on fire. And I'm like, Larry, yeah, what are you doing? Like that. And we sat down, and I sat there in total disbelief, looking at what Larry had created. And not because I didn't believe in him, but I was like, how could you become that connected in a decade? How could you be working with Tony Robbins? How could you have 1,500 people at these events, the biggest thought leaders in the world, with his conference called Sang Events? And then I looked at his website, and he's just, I mean, from pictures with former presidents and, I mean, people, and I'm like, man, how did you do it? And so we just talked, and he had to go places real fast, but we reconnected. And what an amazing story. What an amazing success story. But I do know this, folks, and my wife knows this. My wife will reiterate this, and she's the heart and soul of our family. When you understand, she's very tough to come to like people, but she loves Larry, and Larry's obviously been to our house. We've had dinners together, grill outs, and he's just like part of our family. I mean, when he's here, he's just the greatest guy in the world. And all I can tell you is what he's going to deliver to you today in a 90-day period, a 100-day period, could absolutely change your life and the people that you're connecting with. And, you know, the one mistake that I see people making in networking is they stay within their inner circle. Well, most of the time, your inner circle wants nothing to do with you becoming wealthier. Your inner circle wants you to stay in bowling league. Your inner circle wants you to stay in your lifestyle. They actually get threatened when you start making strides and you start doing bigger things and getting newer cars, and it kind of frightens them. And one thing I've learned is people will stay in that network and they'll never leave it, and therefore they'll never change. You know, the saying is, take the 5 people that are most close to you, add up their incomes and divide by 5, and there's a very good chance that's what you're making. Well, if that income number is not enough, you might have to break out of your group of your regular friends. It doesn't mean you have to lose your friends, but it means you have to have the courage to go make more friends and outside of your current network. And I think, you know, in watching Larry's training, one of the things that he'll be able to help you do is reach out and create other networks and to open your sphere and give you access to more people that not only you can help, but people that can help you get what you want. And so, Larry, I got to tell you, man, it's a real pleasure to have you on board. And I, you know, longtime friends. We've split 12-inch Subway sandwiches due to how much change was in the jar, and we've seen each other kind of rise up through our own ranks and doing what I'm doing in the network marketing industry and the affiliate marketing industry, and seeing what you're doing out in LA and Las Vegas and New York and all the big places. I mean, every time you're at the ESPY Awards the other night, I think I saw pictures with Holyfield and a whole bunch of other celebrities. I mean, it's like people walk up to you and they're like, dang, I can get my picture with Larry Benet, you know. And usually it's the other way around for us. We're like trying to get pictures. I spent some time with Jamie Foxx the other night, and I was laughing because it was what a talented guy. And I'm sure you've met Jamie as well, but got to spend a couple hours with him. And man, you want to talk about a guy with a high level of intelligence and just an amazing person. And we were talking about cryptocurrency, and he's a total believer in it. And so I've got that, using some of your techniques of asking him how I can help him, you know, what people, I mean, he's at another level, but he was like, yeah, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, filming this movie. I got my dentist friend, why don't you connect with him? And he started referring to all these great people, but some of your techniques that I used in building that relationship with him. And it was funny because I was at dinner with another couple over at Chop's restaurant, and they told me they were coming over and invited me over, and that's how that all happened. And ended up spending a couple hours with an absolute master in Hollywood, Jamie Foxx. But that was a lot of fun. So, Larry, I'm gonna turn the floor over to you, folks. Drop whatever you're doing. Turn off your cell phones right now. No interruptions. And sit back, because you're about to get gold, platinum, diamond nuggets from this guy, and you're getting them from one of the best guys in the industry. So if you think you know everything, drop that attitude and open your mind, because the stuff that Larry's going to fill it with could change your life. One nugget that he gives you could change your destiny forever. And I totally believe that. So Larry, welcome. And thank you for taking your Saturday off to meet with us and talk with us about what you're doing.
So I appreciate it. Hey, Tom, one question. If I want to show my screen, does that happen automatically, or do you do that?
No, just go up to the little green arrow and the white arrow in the green box in the upper left-hand corner.
All right, hold on. Oh, okay, yeah. That's got it.
Click on that, and then click on, you can share entire screen, and then click on OK, and it'll bring up your screen. Then go to your PowerPoint deck and bring that up.
All right. Okay, hold on. Let's see.
So click on the green box with the white arrow.
Yeah, I see it. I'm just, let's see. I don't know why it's not. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Let's see.
Make sure you don't have a pop-up blocker popping up or anything. It shouldn't on Google. Are you logged in through Chrome?
I don't know what I'm logged in through. I see the green thing, and I'm trying to click on it, and it's not allowing me to.
Click once, and it should bring a dialog box that says entire screen.
Entire screen.
It should bring up a dialog box that says share entire screen, and you hit OK.
All right, hold on. Let's see. Chat, screen share. Let's see. I'll try it again. If not, don't worry. If not, I'm just going to just jump into the presentation.
Did you share it with me by chance? Did you ended up sharing it over to me? Did I get it?
Let me see. Hold on. Let's check.
Let me see if it came through to my email. If it did, I'll bring it up myself, and we can see if it came through. I don't see it on this side.
Yeah, give me 1 sec, Tom.
Okay.
Let me try it one more time. Let's see. Screen share.
You might have a pop-up blocker that's popping up in your corner that's preventing that dialog box from coming up.
Yeah. You know what? Even though I've created the presentation, I'm just going to go jump into it so we don't slow anything down, and we'll just talk, and I'm going to cover my presentation points. And so they'll just, Tom, can they see me in a clear, concise manner?
Yeah. No, you're crystal clear, full screen right now.
All right, cool. All right, so let's just kind of just jump right into things then. Here's basically my outcome. And first of all, what Tom said is true. Write down these three numbers: 90, 30, and 1. Hey, Tom, and I am hearing a little reverb. It's probably on your back end, just for what it's worth.
I'm going to mute out. So.
Okay, no problem. So 90, 30, and 1. And what 90 is, one of my mentors and Tom's mentors, a guy named Hubert Humphrey, who's literally recruited over 1 million people, said you could always do anything in 90-day madman cycles. I'm a big believer. You can get massive, massive momentum in 90 days. 30 is important because I believe it's going to take you 30 days to create some new habits that are going to serve you even better than what you're doing already. And then number 1, because you're only one connection away from changing your life. How many Tom McMurians on your team, how many Larry Benets in your organization does it really take for it to be game-changing to you to make the extra money or full-time money that you really want for your family? So here's my outcome for you. I want to show you strategies to rejection-proof your networking. I want to talk to you about how to really avoid some of the biggest networking mistakes. And Tom and I talked about some of these before. I'm going to share those with you. I'm going to teach you really a simple strategy. It's like counterintuitive to get what you want faster by serving others. And I'm going to show you how to make follow-up easy. I remember when I first started out in the business, it was complex, complicated, and not fun. And I'm going to show you how to make this whole thing fun. And literally, I'll show you how to be a master networker in literally 15 to 30 minutes a day. What I'm going to talk to you about, I believe, is the most powerful skill in the world, okay? And the reason why it's the most powerful skill in the world, whatever you want, someone else already has access to. It's kind of like the easy button of business and the easy button of life. Here's a quick case to prove it. I speech earlier this week for a financial services company that actually uses a network marketing model. One of the gentlemen that was there is a gentleman that Tom and I both know named Steve Gross. He's been living in Atlanta for 25 years. I've known him. Anyway, we were just talking, getting caught up. One thing led to another. And I told him, I said, I try to pick 3 celebrities in Hollywood where I could give back, add value, because I live out here now. And I said, one of the guys I've been very impressed with is Ryan Seacrest. And make a long story short, he goes, Ryan lived next door to me growing up for 20 years. He goes, I'll introduce you to his father. His father is his right hand and has Ryan's ear. But here's the point. Just because Steve knows him doesn't mean he's going to necessarily open the door for me or for you. The key is what Tom talked about. When you serve other people, when you add value to other people, they're more likely, because you have high trust, and that's what we're going to talk about. So it's really the number one predictor of success. It's not taught in university. It's not taught in school. It's the quality of your relationship. So here's my question to you. How strong are the relationships with your teammates? How strong are the relationships with your inner circle? How strong are the other relationships you have? We're going to go into some of these kind of things. And I'm sure some of you probably have kids. I've got 4 little nieces, aging in range from age 4 to 8. One of my nieces is Lindsay. We call her Stingy Lindsay because she's very stingy with her hugs. One of the secrets I have found to connecting with kids is SpongeBob. So I've created an incentive-based hugging system. And basically, every time I bring SpongeBob or ice cream, I tend to get more hugs per visit. Now, it's Saturday morning in LA, so I don't know if the jokes are going to get much better than that, but that's some of the jokes early on. Now, what I've learned is you on average, you're going to have about 10 seconds or less to make a first impression, whether you're on the phone, if they're seeing you via Skype, if you're in person. So you got to connect kind of quickly, and I'm going to kind of talk you through that. Now, Tom talked about the early days, and I want to talk to you about my journey of getting here from literally failed networker to super connector. And what I mean by failed networker, I'm talking about my first job out of college was with Tom in a company called Relive. It was a nutritional sports drink company. I literally went around in malls looking for people. I went flyering parking lots. I mean, it was not pretty. But these were my early networking experiences. They taught us early on when I followed up with people that I should follow up with them on the first, third, and fifth day. Literally early on, if someone was taking this health product or nutrition product and somebody ended up having diarrhea, I would call up and say, congratulations, you've got diarrhea, the product is working. Let me just tell you, that was not comfortable at all, but what they taught me, I did. One thing Tom talked about was work ethic, and that's one of the things that he and I both share. We both have tremendous work ethic, and one of my early mentors, Hubert Humphrey, said you can't judge on what's in someone's heart. And that is something else. I always had a heart. I always had that work ethic, but I didn't work smart. I didn't understand the principles of connecting with other people and adding value to other people. So this journey has been long and hard, and I'm going to teach you what I've learned over the last 25 years so you can learn from my mistakes so you can have more success faster. For what it's worth, I come from New York. I'm a little shy and introverted. If you ever met me on the plane, I may not say a whole lot. After about 18 months in my first network marketing company, one of the gentlemen came up to me named Bill Grubbs, and Bill said, Larry, I think you need to go out and get a job. And all I remember, my leaders in the company at the time, who I actually recently reconnected with, Kirby and Cindy Wright, who Tom also knows, they always kept on preaching, you'll always make it if you don't quit. I remember the day Bill came to me and said, Larry, go get a job. I had tears coming down my eyes because I said, I'm not a quitter. He said, Larry, I know you're not a quitter, but you got to go get a job and make some money. And so I did. And off I went. I became one of the top salespeople for a company in the automotive technology industry. After I made a couple years of really strong 6-figure income, I then went back into network marketing in the financial services with a gentleman named Hubert Humphrey that literally has built 2 different billion-dollar companies in this space. And he taught me a lot about people, about connecting with people's dreams, hopes, desires. But again, for whatever reason, there were people joining that company. There were people making lots of money in that company, but I wasn't one of them. And one of the hardest pills to swallow for me years later was taking inventory, looking in the mirror and realizing, you know what? It was a great opportunity, but maybe people weren't joining me, or maybe they weren't sticking with me, or maybe I wasn't as good a leader as I could have been or should have been. And over the years, eventually I went and got my way into the technology industry. I had a lot of success with a company called the Gartner Group. But, folks, I have been selectively outsourced 4 different occasions. That's a nice way of saying I've been fired on multiple occasions. And April 1st, 2006 was the last time, 2007 was the last time I was selectively outsourced. They said my services were no longer needed. And my bank account was low. I didn't know what I was going to go do next. And, it was a scary moment in my time. It was around the time that the movie The Secret came out. And at the time, I was angry, I was frustrated, I was pissed. And I watched the movie The Secret and talked about focus on what you want and be positive and attract things. And literally a couple days later, I got a chance to ask Donald Trump a question. Some lady I've never met comes up to me and says, hey, you're dressed really sharp. Would you like to ask Donald Trump a question? I said, absolutely. And the question I asked him was, how do you handle adversity and pressure? And from those simple things, he shared some insights with me. The person behind me asked him, Mr. Trump, what would you do if you lost all your money? And Trump said, I'm going to be rich. That's all there is to it. Next question. And for me, I had a light bulb moment. And I'm hoping some of you guys have a light bulb moment for me talking to you today. And what my light bulb moment was, I may not have Donald Trump's money, but I could go build relationships with anyone, from someone that's homeless to a billionaire and everyone in between. Because you know what I mean? It comes down to being curious. It comes down to connecting with other people, really making a heartfelt connection. And more importantly, it means serving those people, making a difference and adding value. And here's what's interesting, what happened in a very short period of time in my life. I was able to connect with the likes of Larry King. I went to a charity event, and Larry was sitting next to Jimmy Carter, President Carter, and Ted Turner and Jane Fonda. It was a Jane Fonda celebrity thing. 60 seconds later, he invited me to breakfast. I eventually went on to help him raise money for his Larry King Cardiac Foundation. Another charity event a few months later, I bump into my all-time favorite business hero, Sir Richard Branson. He was on the basically, I was able to connect with him in less than 30 seconds, and he gave me his private email. As a matter of fact, today is Richard's birthday, and I'm going to reach out and wish him happy birthday. I had the chance to meet President Clinton, and I'll tell you that story a little bit later on how we connected in a very short period of time. But here's the point. I come from a middle-class neighborhood in New York. I went to Florida State, didn't know a soul. When I first moved to Atlanta, I knew 2 people. And all I'm saying is these skills will serve you well as you move forward. One of the things I am most proud of, when I lost everything and I had very little money in my bank account and not knowing what I was going to do next, I changed the way I thought and I changed my life. Tony Robbins, Chet Holmes, Les Brown, Guy Kawasaki, Jay Abraham, the famous marketing strategist, the famous social media person, Maury Smith, Jack Canfield, Brian Tracy. These were legends in business that I had learned from their seminars, their tapes, their books, and every single one of them became part of my saying network. You know, Tony Robbins gets several $100,000 just to speak and fly at an event. I never paid a dime for any of these folks. As a matter of fact, most of them pay me to come to my events. I don't tell this to impress you. I'm telling this to impress upon you when you put these principles in. So let's talk about what some of the biggest mistakes. Now, Tom and I were talking about this just the other day. Here's my question. Are you letting other people steal your dream? Here's the thing. 450,000 people have actually joined the organization that Tom's a part of. All I know is digital currency is a big thing. Mark Andreessen, one of the biggest venture capitalists, he puts money into Bitcoin and digital currency. Now, personally, I don't know that much about it. All I know is people I know, they know about it. So don't let other people steal your dream. Not doing all your research, meaning what I mean by that, not doing all your homework on the opportunity, not doing all your research on the industry, not doing all your research. If you're going to go speak to someone, maybe do your homework before you speak to them to understand what's going on in their world. You can check them out on Facebook, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on their blog, all these things. Do your homework. Here's the biggest killer, the 2 biggest killers in your home-based business or network marketing. Not believing in yourself. Going back to my personal story, after I was in the financial services, I lost everything I had. I literally ended up having to go declare bankruptcy, and it got to the point in my life I had to take a part-time telemarketing job with a company called Dial America, calling people on magazine subscriptions. And let me tell you, I lost belief in myself. There was a gentleman named Chris White that believed in me, and 1 hour every week he would meet with me. And for those few minutes, man, I had peace. Because, man, it hurt to not believe in my own self. It hurt a lot. And I know some of you on this call know you have a great opportunity because you see other people in your organization making money and you question it. I'm saying to yourself, step up, take action, and believe in yourself. I believe in you. Tom believes in you. Here's the last thing. I was on the phone the other day with my friend Matt Morris. He's the #1 money earner in a travel company called World Ventures, okay? He's got hundreds of thousands of people in his organization. Not only does he make multiple 7 figures a year income, he travels all over the world. He gives a lot to charity. He just made an investment into Kevin Harrington of Shark Tank's new company. Him and I talked about it. The #1 thing is people let fear stop them. Most things you worry about aren't ever going to. So if you're worried about what other people think of you, trust me, they're not going to spend that much time worrying about it. They got their own problems. Don't let fear stop you. Fear has stopped me before to the point where I could not get off the couch to go outside to just a simple event. Don't let fear stop you. Let's talk about other
We'll get Larry back here in 1 minute. Looks like he was having a little bit of a bandwidth problem, but bear with us. I'll bring him back into the presentation. And it looks like wherever he's at, the bandwidth just got sucked up. Probably all those nuggets he was laying out there. And we've got a ton of people on the webinar right now. So give me 1 second. And I don't know if his battery was going dead, but give us a couple minutes. What I'm going to do, folks, while I'm bringing Larry back on, I'm going to go ahead and bring up a presentation about him so you can learn a little bit about Larry. Pull that up real quick. And let's see what we got here. Not that one. Let me try another one real quick. But let you know a little bit about Larry. For those that don't know, if you're on for the very first time, Larry is, pull this up real quick for you. We're bringing Larry back on, but he'll be back on here in just a second.
Hi, my name is Larry Benet, Chief Connector and co-founder of SANG, Speaker and Authors Networking Group. We've had some of the top thought leaders in the world, everyone from Tony Robbins to Tony Chanzappers.
Hi, this is Darren Hardy, publisher of Success Magazine.
This is Maury Smith.
Keith Rudd, author of Never Be Alone and Who's Got Your Back.
Hi, Jeffrey Gittimer. Hi, this is Mitch Young.
Larry Benet has been a friend of mine for many years, and his great networking prowess has both taught me an amazing amount of techniques like
Hey, this is John Astraff, and I've been friends with Larry Benet for about probably 5-6 years, and I'm so excited that his new book is going to be coming out. I'm going to support it.
We are wholeheartedly going to support Larry and his book. Reason being, Larry has lived his message with us.
The difference is that Larry really does know and has done a marvelous job, quite frankly, of building a personal network.
And now it's my turn to create a blockbuster best-selling book with you, as well as create a movement.
So as you can see, Larry's got amazing connections around the world. I'm going to see if he's coming back in here. Give me 1 second. And he had a little bit of a technical challenge. I'm chatting with him on the other line real quick. Give me 1 second. Be right back with you. See if he's going to join us. If you're just joining us, give us a minute. We just lost Larry to some technical challenges. Be right back with you. Just something you deal with in our industry sometimes, but pull him up real quick and see if he's coming back online.
Hey, Tom.
There you are, Larry. Gotcha. Awesome.
Okay, I don't know how long. So, Tom, where did we drop off, and what was the last thing people heard?
Larry, you were right at the point where you were talking about I don't know, so relationships you had just generated with, I want to say it wasn't Larry King, but we didn't miss much, and we've only been offline for about a minute. I just showed your video and you came right back up, so we heard everything. It was a little bit staticky, but just jump in where you feel comfortable.
Okay.
All right, and now can they see me, or can they just hear me, or what?
Yeah, they can see you. We see you loud and clear and hear you loud and clear, and I'm going to mute out.
Okay. So again, I'm just going to kind of go back to if you could change the way you think, you'll change your life. As for me, I've had a lot of setbacks over the years. I've had to overcome a lot of adversity, and I wish someone would have taught me the principles I'm about to share with you in the next few minutes. But bottom line is I've been able to connect with the likes of Larry King, Richard Branson, President Clinton in a very short periods of time. The thing I may be most proud of is the time on April 1st, 2007, when I got selectively outsourced. That was the last time that's a nice way of saying I was fired, but I've been outsourced 4 times in my life. But Tony Robbins, Chet Holmes, Les Brown, Maury Smith, Jack Canfield, Brian Tracy, Jay Abraham, all these are remarkable folks. Peter Guber, owner of the Golden State Warriors. They're all been part of my Saying Network. I've never paid $1 to have any of the speakers. As a matter of fact, most of them actually pay to attend our Saying conference. And that's the power of these kind of things. So some of the things in terms of some of the big mistakes that I see people make is, number one, letting other people steal your dream. Don't let other people steal your dream. It happens an awful lot, so kind of educate yourself. I mean, the reality is, I know in Tom's company, there's been almost 450,000 people that have joined. Another thing is, do your homework, do your research. Like Mark Andreessen, for example, invests in digital currency. Mark's one of the most successful venture capitalists in the world. From companies like Facebook and Twitter and Uber and all these companies. I mean, these guys are the people behind these companies, and Google and stuff like that. Anyway, so do your homework. And here's the 2 biggest killers of people, in my opinion. Not only my opinion, I went to some of my friends that are the top network marketers in the world. I'm like, what's the biggest obstacles your people have to face and overcome? Number 1 is belief in yourself. Folks, if you could take on the identity of the #1 money earner in your company, if you could take on the identity of being the best recruiter, the best enroller, to be the best husband, the best mother, the best brother, the best sister, whatever your identity is, but a lot of it comes down to belief in yourself. Listen, I've been in multiple network marketing companies, and they didn't always necessarily work out for me personally, but it was because of my belief in myself. It had nothing to do with the opportunity. There were people making money. And you know as well as I do, there's people making money in your opportunity as well. Here is the last thing. Don't let this happen to you. Don't let fear stop you, okay? And listen, in the past, I was so fearful in many cases because I've battled depression where I sat on the couch. I could not get off the couch to go to a simple networking event, even though I knew going to the networking event I would meet the right people and it would help my business. I knew, and I literally couldn't make it happen. Anyway, so here's a statement. People don't care how much you know until you show them how much you care. So pull out your cell phone right now. This is the audience participation time. What I want you to do is reach out to someone that you care about. This could be someone you haven't even talked to in years, but just reach out to them and let them know how much you appreciate them. I sent a video the other day that I did, and I basically shot it on my smartphone. I sent it to one of my friends that I've known 20 some odd years, just thanking him for being in my life, thanking him for being a mentor and a friend, and all these simple things. Today, is different people's birthdays. As a matter of fact, today, so I always call people on their birthdays, simple little things you can go do. So take the time if you didn't do it and send it out. And Tom, I'd be curious when people come back with different things. I'm curious what they say. Here's the thing. I want you to think about a different way of thinking. If you're out in pitch mode all the time, if you're out trying to recruit people all the time, if you're out just trying to sell people your product or service, guess what? I bet you that's not working that well for you. Give first, always add value. Miller Lite says, taste great, less filling. My motto is give first, always add value. So here's the question. Do you believe relationships are important to your success? Now, we're going to do a quick audience participation thing. Tom, I think they could put it in. I'm not really sure, but I'd love to get the feedback. Number 1, if you believe you're important, give yourself a yes for every question you say yes to. Number 1, do you have a permission-based newsletter? So Tom can send out a newsletter to people he stays in touch with. So give yourself a point if you do. Number two, do you religiously call your friends on their birthdays and their anniversaries and special occasions? Okay. If you do, how many of you record the notes of your conversations, or if you're communicating with someone on Facebook and they told you they just had a baby or they're going to have a baby in the month of October, are you writing it down somewhere in your smartphone, in your CRM system, in Evernote, on a piece of paper? I don't care. Simple little things. How many of you stay in touch with people just to see how they're doing, not to recruit or sell them or pitch them on anything? Next question. Do you know the 3 most important goals for your 50 to 100 most valuable relationships? What I mean by that is, do you know what's important to them personally? Do you know what's important to them in business? Tom's son, for example, is going off to the Naval Academy. Tom's daughter wants to help 100,000 women lose 10 pounds each through yoga and fitness and health. I want to help Tom's daughter accomplish that goal. I'm going to try to make some introductions for Tom and his daughter. How many of you know the 20% of your clients or strategic partners that are going to provide you 80% of your future income and money? How many of you have a strategic relationship plan for your 100 most valuable relationships? How many of you leverage trigger events to reach out to your network, especially the busy, influential people in your network? What a trigger event is, by the way, a personal trigger event is birthday, anniversary, special occasion, divorce, death. Those are all trigger events. Okay. One of my friends, who I don't talk to all that often, his ex-girlfriend just passed away. I reached out to him. That was a trigger event. A business trigger event is he or she got a promotion in their network marketing company, or they came out with a new product, or the company is going public, or they were just seen on TV or in the news. Those are business trigger events. Last question. How many of you have a system where you're systematically reaching out to create value for your most valued relationships in your network? So, Tom, is there a way where we could just find out how many points people got by them just either raising their hands or telling us?
Yeah, we have a lot of them coming through, but Larry, I think what I'd like to do, just as you know, I've been in this industry for a long time, and I'd like to cover those points. I wrote them all down as you were talking about them, and I want to share some of the ideas that I have, that I do. And I think people, this will help people, because I have a virtual assistant who does some of this stuff for me. But you talk about an email newsletter. Number one, I have a newsletter that goes out every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. It's a non-pitch, non-sales material. It's updates. It's things that are going on. It's new articles that I've read, new links, just things like that. So on my to-do list every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, Lisa's the head of my director of marketing. She sits down. You don't have to have a director of marketing, but as busy as I am, it's helpful to have people around you that can help. It could be people on your team that volunteer to help do all that stuff, okay? Because it really is a community effort. I have a Minions video that I send to every person. That's one of the first things I do when I get up in the morning. I see whose birthday it is, and I have this Minions video that I copied with a screencast, and it's the Minions singing Happy Birthday. And
that's cool.
It's the most unique one, and I'll send it to you, Larry, but I upload it to their page, and I get some of the funniest comments from that video. But what it does, Larry, is it gets them to come look at my page. Whether they know me or not, it gets them to go, golly, this guy's funny. This is like the most classic birthday gift I've ever gotten on my Facebook page. And they come check out my page, and they might see something about my digital currency offering. Babies, okay? There is a little stuffed animal on Amazon called a flatopotamus. And they have flatopotamuses. They have elephants. They're these flat pillows. And my kids loved them. I mean, we had one for all of our kids. And it's $12.95. And anytime I hear of somebody I know, big networker, somebody that's connected, anybody that's having a baby, I send them. I call them up and I ask them. I send one to Lawrence Tam. I send one to Nathan Gooden. I mean, I've sent out probably 10 or 15 of them a year. So I invest a couple $100 a year. But you know what? Those people remember me. you know, they get the gift, you know, and it's something that you can do. Maybe you only send out 5 of them a year or whatever, but that is one thing I do. So I'm going on my list. I'm marveled by your list here, Larry. Checking in with people. I can honestly say I don't do that as much, but that's now on my to-do list to check in with 5 people per day. So I have a to-do list every day when I wake up in the morning, and most of the stuff that you put on here, Larry, I do about 80% of it before 10 a.m. every morning. And it's on my Google Calendar. So if you all use Google Calendar or use Outlook, you can put this in as a recurring event. Email your newsletter if it's Tuesday, Thursday, or Saturday. Birthdays, you know, upload minion videos, whatever you have to do. And I can say that I don't know the goals for my top 50 people. That's something I need to work on. And of course, reaching out to them, I assume that takes time to develop that list. You can't do that in a week. You know, even if you focus on one person a week in a year, you'll know the goals of your top 50 people. So maybe focus on one person per week or 2 people per week and reach out to them and find out their goals. And in 6 months, you can have that. And some of your other ones, the trigger days I always do. Anytime I see somebody that's had something catastrophic happen in their life, dude, I mean, there's nothing more powerful than reaching them out and telling them that your prayers are with them. I had a friend, Chris Farcher, they lost their baby, you know, about a month ago. And his post was like, you know, we lost our child today. And I just made this post. I said, your car may have broken down today. You may have hated going to work. You may have hated being in traffic today, but you didn't lose your baby today. And I just said, my heart so goes out to you, Chris. And I must have had hundreds of comments of people wishing him well. And I mean, Chris and I have never met personally, but I have kids, and I can only imagine how awful that day is. And it was on Father's Day. I mean, you couldn't. I mean, there's no great day for a death. But wow, I mean, but when you look at that, folks, it's reaching out to people and genuinely caring. And then, of course, a system of value, Larry. As you know, I'm very much into systems, and I develop systems that help people get what they want. I develop systems that enable people to do automatic follow-up. I create systems where people can get marketing copy that they can send out on their page, because most people don't know how to write marketing copy. So I have a system where I'm constantly planting seeds. And I know you and I are both Stephen Covey fans, and he always talked about the law of the farm. Yep. But all of these things that you're talking about, Larry, are like walking across the field and spreading seeds. And I think it's so important that you all can visualize that in your mind, because as you're throwing those seeds out in the field, all of a sudden you know, the crop is just naturally going to come up. But you got to tend to it. You got to cultivate it. You got to fertilize it, and you got to water it. And these are all the things that I think, Larry, that you're really talking about. But that visual is so powerful to me that I feel like I can visualize myself walking through one of our fields with a bucket of seed in my hand, and I'm just constantly walking through. And it's something that I enjoy planting and farming as it is. So it's a natural for me. But thanks for bringing up those points, folks. And yeah, we are getting people. Most people are saying they don't have these things. They don't have a plan like this. But could you imagine every day before 9 o'clock or every night before you go to bed from 11 till midnight? You know, people say, well, I don't have time in the day to do all that. Bull, you know, you just don't make the time. You know, you got to cut out your TV time. You got to cut out the idle time sitting on the couch, and put it on your Gmail calendar when you're going to do this stuff every day. And you'll watch your friends list expand, and you'll watch your relationships expand. So Larry, I just want to comment on it. Thanks for bringing that up.
So let me just, let me share one or two, and Tom, you may want to just speed out because of the background. But,
yeah, let me do that.
And Mike and Tom, feel free to, you know, if you want to make a point, just come back in, because obviously it's just the background noise. That's all. So, all right, let's do this, folks. What I want to do now is I want to kind of transition. I want to hit on what Tom just talked about, and I want to give you the tools that are going to help you rejection-proof your networking. I want to give you the tools to make it easier for you to follow up. I want to give you the tools so you can connect with anyone, anytime, anywhere with ease and confidence. And anyway, it's very easy to do. You know, we teach this in our Connection Mastery Home Study stuff, but I just want to show you, minutes after this call, you can go implement the ideas I'm about to share. All right, first of all, are you even asking the right questions? Number one. So number one, here's a great question I like to ask. What do you do for fun, Tom, when you're not doing, you know, your home-based business? And Tom will tell me. Second question I like to ask, what are you most passionate about in life? And it's a great question. It's a great dialogue starter. Here's another one. What's your favorite charity or cause and why? They may, I just literally was speaking at this conference the other day, and Greg Kite, I've never met Greg Kite in my life. He used to play for the Boston Celtics. And we started talking, and he told me he's got a school that he's been funding since the 1990s. And he said he wants to make, all his money in retirement, he wants to take some of that money to fund the school. That's his cause. That's his charity. That's what he cares about. Okay? It allowed me to bond with him a little bit more. Okay, so let's talk about the 5-step formula so you guys can go connect with anyone. Number one, what you want to be able to do is you want to be able to make an authentic personal connection because it's human to human. If you literally care more about other people, it's going to be that much easier for you to connect. If you care more about them and understand them, it's going to be easier for you to provide a resource to be a resource to them. So number one, got to make a connection. Number two, find out what's most important to them. Could you do it over the phone? Could you do it person to person? Could you do it over Facebook? Could you do it via text? There's a lot of different ways you can find out what's important to them. Some people are more public figures. Like you could literally read up about me because you see my post on Facebook, right? So again, what's most important? Number three, you want to help them get whatever's important to them. Number four, you want to become a VC, not a venture capitalist, but a value creator. And number five, you want to have really good systematic follow-up, okay? Now here are some things that you may want to consider helping someone with. Their career. Can you help them make more money, part-time or full-time? Could you give them an idea? I was literally just with the general manager of the Mandarin Oriental Hotel in Las Vegas. I was giving him career advice on having a book, on how to speak, where to speak. Again, that's on his career, things he cares about. He told me he wants to run the entire chain, okay? So I gave him some tools and resources. Things about their family. Again, we just talked about Tom. Tom's daughter wants to help people. I want to help Tom with his family. Their health. What do they, obviously if people don't have their health, they don't have anything. I want to go lose 20 or 25 pounds. So if someone's got a tip for me, I'm open to hearing it. Again, we talked about their favorite charity or cause. Another thing is people love to travel. Tap into their passions. Help them with their passions. They're going to love you for life. Okay. By the way, just to show you how simple this is, the other day I was with Steve Gross, who is going to connect me to Ryan Seacrest's father. I know that Steve likes wine, and this stuff doesn't even cost money. I'm like, do you know of Wine Library TV? He's like, no. I said, do you know of Gary Vaynerchuk? He's like, no. I'm like, check out Gary and Wine Library TV because he likes wine, and it's a whole TV show about wine. Okay, here's another one. This is going to change your life. 3 deposits a day of appreciation. What I mean by that is sending out 3 personal notes. What I like to do is I send 3 videos a day to people in my network just telling them how much I appreciate them. Yesterday, I sent a video to my friend Mark Cassetta, one of the top trainers in the world in network marketing. He's awesome. And I just said, you know what, I appreciate our friendship. I wanted to congratulate you on all your success. And more importantly, thanks for several years ago allowing me to have your AV equipment at my SANG conference. Again, just something sweet and simple. 3 deposits a day. And Tom, I want you to ask everyone, are they willing to do 3 deposits a day? This thing can take 3 minutes a day. 3 texts, 3 video messages, 3 comments on Facebook. Again, simple. Here's another thing, just being a resource. Like right now, if you guys go to larrybenet.com/ebook, I will give you a resource that you can go use on questions I use to connect with Richard Branson or Larry King. And when I'm out and about, I tell people, hey, go to larrybenet.com and go download the free stuff, or go to larrybenet.com/ebook. And there's free resources, there's videos, there's articles. It's just being a resource. Here's another great idea. One of my clients, Bob Bodine, is an executive recruiter. He's co-owner of the Texas Rangers. I said, Bob, use Google Voice or phone tag. It'll transcribe all your messages. Now you no longer have to go check voicemail. Well, that saves a guy like him 30 minutes a day. It'll save the average person 10 to 15 minutes a day so they no longer have to check. By the way, if you save 15 minutes a day, that's 1 full week a year. You can go take more vacation and spend time with your loved ones or family, do whatever you love to do. Here's another great idea. What emails are coming into your inbox by other people that are just unbelievable articles of resources? I deal with a lot of people that are authors or speakers, or they want to become an author and speaker. My friend Jeff Hazlett has written 2 best-selling books, Running the Gauntlet and The Mirror Test. The last 2 books, as a matter of fact, he's got a book coming out, and he sends me an email, 12.5 ways to help Jeff. I save it in my Gmail. Every new author, I send it to him. I say, hey, just change out Jeff's social media, his websites for yours. Very helpful. Here's another simple idea. I was at an event with a very successful, famous marketer. Everyone else is pitch mode, trying to pitch him on doing a joint venture. I basically said, hey, how you doing? How's your kids? How's your wife? He goes, I'm going through a divorce. My wife wants 100% custody of the kids. I'm like, oh my God, that's horrible. Can I connect you to one of my friends that runs the Divorce Dads Network? What did it cost me? A minute of my time sending an email. Did he really appreciate it? Of course he appreciated it. Again, it's about serving others. It's about making a difference. It's about giving first, adding value always. What's your favorite books? Categorize them. David Allen wrote a great book, Getting Things Done. I tell people about that book all the time. Tim Ferriss wrote a great book, The 4-Hour Workweek. It's how to outsource your life to get time back. It's a great book. I send it out. Delivering Happiness by Tony Hsieh. It's a great book. I have a lot of friends that go to Vegas, so I'm like, hey, check out a Zappos tour. It's free. They've got everyone in the company's happy. They got an amazing culture. Check it out. Everything I just shared with you is free. Not one thing. It's just about changing your mindset to serve people first. So Tom talked about it. The most powerful question in the English language is, how can I help you? Plain and simple. Start asking more people how you can help them, okay? It really makes a big difference. Let me just share with you 1 or 2 things before wrapping up. Big mistake, having no relationship capital, having no connection currency in your relationship piggy bank. And number 2 is being in pitch mode all the time. Don't do that. Not the best thing to do. And the last question, or excuse me, the last big networking mistake that I see people make is, Tom and I went 12 years where we didn't stay in touch. Now, obviously, we reconnected, but how many people do you meet at a networking event, or meet at the grocery store, or meet at church, or wherever you meet them, and they're great people, but you forget to stay in touch? So you got to remember, that's a really simple thing. So think about this. I'm going to wrap and just share one final story. I appreciate your time today. Here's the thing. Ideas are a dime a dozen. The people that implement are priceless, okay? Don't let me be high-priced edutainment for the last hour. Take action on one idea. I want you to take me up on the Connection Challenge. Here's what I want you to do for the next 30 days. It will change your life, and I want to hear your success story. I want to feature, whether it's on my book or on my website or whatever. Think about this. Can you reach out to 3 people a day for 3 things of appreciation? Could you reach out to 3 people a day and add value to them in some way, shape, or form? And when you've connected with these people, over the phone or in person or however you've done it, here's the question I want you to ask. What is the most important project or goal you're currently working on, in case I or my network can help you, okay? And when you do that, like Tom told me the other day, he wants something for his daughter. I am delighted to help Tom. As a matter of fact, I'm going to send an email or 2 this weekend to help his daughter, because that's what he cares about. As a matter of fact, the only reason I'm on this webinar or this webcast right now is because Tom and I have a long history of relationship capital. Otherwise, I'd be charging him a lot of money to go do this. But we go way back. And it's all about serving other people. So go serve more people. Serve 3 people a day. Give value to 3 people a day. Show you love people 3 people a day. It's only going to take a few minutes, and then 30 days from today, you're going to have a new discipline and a new muscle. You're going to get better at connecting the dots, connecting your network with resources, with people, with introductions, what have you. And when you do that, The way I can help you is you're going to then be able to rejection-proof your networking. You're going to avoid the biggest networking mistakes. You won't have to make them anymore. And you're going to have unstoppable confidence. You're going to have irresistible influence. Your follow-up is going to be easy. I just want to read this to you. I did a very similar training a week ago, 10 days ago. Sandy Gruber, she said now she's just much more transparent and value-add to her folks. There was a guy named Chris that was on the webcast, and he said now it's like easy and natural for him, and there's no attachment to an outcome. And there was this other lady named Tamara Webb, and she said this simple approach has now opened up conversations for her. And this other guy, Drew Berman, he basically said it just takes the pressure off to have to sell, pitch, recruit. All I want you to do is go build more relationships, build more friends, and when you have high relationship capital, you have high trust, they're going to be more open to what you have to say. When you say, hey, check out my video, check out this audio, check out this website, come to this meeting, whatever you're going to ask them, whatever that request is, they're going to say yes. So listen, if you want, check it out at larrybenet.com/special. If you want, that's the way I can help you over the next 30 days. It's my Connection Challenge. It's my program. I'm not going to go into a long song and dance, but if you felt this resonated with you and you'd like to go deeper in learning these skills so you could become the best you could be, so you could recruit people effortlessly, so you can make more money in less time, I'd love to help you. I wish someone had this for me 25 years ago. I wouldn't have struggled as much as I did. So just check it out online if you want, larrybenet.com/special. And here's what my last message to you. Care more, listen more, love more, give more, help more people, and I guarantee you your dreams will come true. So, Tom, however, I know you got more training to do. I just want to thank everyone for being part of this portion. I hope they take action on something that we talked about today.
Great. Thank you very much, Larry. Let's just kind of do a small recap on things that people could do as far as a checklist, and let's work through this together real quick.
Sure.
First off, folks, I love what he says, 3 deposits a day. Find 3 people that you could reach out to every day. So put this on your list, 3 people you can reach out to every day and tell them you appreciate them or thank them for what they've done in your life. Just reach out to people. Larry, what would be the next one on your side?
To me, it's a combination of, like, can they connect their network? So, for example, your daughter, she's working in the health and fitness field. So I'm going to ask myself, who do I know that would be a valuable investor, right? So I'm going to connect someone in my network to her. So who could they connect as they listen in to what's important?
Okay, so that would be, let's say, one person a day, try and create value in one person's life per day by connecting them with somebody that might help them accomplish their goals. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah. And here's the thing. Google is your best friend. Because whatever someone wants, all you got to do is Google. If the guy says they love water, or he wants to take a trip to Fiji. Here's a perfect example, Tom. I was at the ESPY Awards, okay? The guy next to me was from Gatorade. I've never met the guy in my life. He tells me he's getting married in 7 days. I'm like, great, where are you going on your honeymoon? He says, Fiji. I'm like, cool, where are you staying? He goes, I don't know. And I'm like, oh. I'm like, are you going to stay at Tony Robbins' Fiji resort? I don't know. I'm like, I can't remember the name. So what did I do? I Googled Tony Robbins Fiji Resort, and I know it's a top-ranked resort in Fiji, and I gave him the name of it. So he appreciated it. So whether you can connect them to an article, a resource, all I'm saying is by being appreciative of someone and then coming behind that and giving them something of value is huge. Absolutely huge.
Well, let me tell you what people would have normally done. Larry, sitting next to the person of Gatorade, that they might have started telling the person of Gatorade how important they are and trying to impress the person at Gatorade and flexing their ego. I mean, that's typically what people would do, but your approach was a lot different. It was like, get rid of the ego and find out everything you could about that individual to see how you could insert yourself into that person's life in a positive way. Is that correct?
Absolutely. When I was at the ESPYs the other night, I met Evander Holyfield. He lived in Atlanta. I lived in Atlanta. I never met the champ. And I asked him, I'm like, hey, champ, what are you up to these days? You know, what do you care about? And he told me the Boys and Girls Club, and he told me prostate cancer. These are two things that he cares about. And I'm, you know, that literally, I'm not kidding you, within 2 minutes, his right-hand guy gave me contact information for me to follow up. Because it's all about being.
Yeah, and I guess another thing you could do when you got home, you could look through all of your contacts and see if anybody else had similar interest or work. I know Steve Gross works in the Boys and Girls Club. He does some things with them, but it would be interesting. You go back to your database, and not only that, you can go create even more value. Okay, so another thing, Larry says, find one person a day that you can add value to. Really rack your mind, folks. I mean, think about your database, go through your friends list on Facebook and say, who do I know that can help somebody today? And try and become, I guess, a matchmaker in a way. You call it a value creator, Larry, and I love that. I love being a VC. The third thing I want you to put on your checklist, so we've got 3 caring messages per day. Reach out and tell 3 people you care about them and thank them for what they've done with you. Try and find one person a day that you can create value for. The third thing I'm going to take from your list, Larry, that you have is the birthday wishes, okay? Find on YouTube a really funny YouTube video or something that's very unique to you and share that birthday message with every person every day. Look at your Facebook list and send out, I'm going to say, a minimum of 3 birthday messages per day. Of course, it depends on how many are on your friends list, but send out 1 to 3 birthday messages per day.
So
okay?
Tom,
yeah.
So something. Literally, all they have to do, they have a smartphone, if they want to. By the way, I love your idea. I'm going to look at that video that you got. But I'm just going to take a video on my smartphone and sing happy birthday and sing it off. It's highly personal. And I'm just saying I love it because everyone has a birthday. Especially on Facebook, there's birthdays every day.
Larry, I'm afraid if I sing happy birthday on a video, I'm not going to have any friends left. I'm Irish. I can't sing and I can't dance.
All right.
Unless I've been drinking a lot, and I gave that up a long time ago.
You know, the key thing I hope people take away is more of the mindset shift, meaning give first, add value. Give first, show appreciation. These simple little things, it's not about exactly what do I have to say. Like, if you're meeting someone for the first time, if you haven't connected with them in 6 months or a year, it's just like literally being genuinely interested in them. The other day, at this ESPY, I was connecting with this guy, Billy Blanks, or Billy Banks, the Tybo guy. I used to use Tybo. I bought the videos. I was so fascinated by this guy's story. And we talked for 45 minutes at the party, only because I was just asking him questions, because I really want to get like tomorrow. I'm hosting a party in LA, and I'm inviting him to come. It's just about trying to serve him. And again, it's very simple. And like we go deeper in the home study and stuff like that, but they could just take these ideas right now and implement right away.
Yeah, so let's we'll add a fourth to that one. Go on to Amazon.com and find a gift you can send to people that have had a baby. And if you can't afford that, maybe find a cute video, a baby video, or find something online that you can send to them in a private message. But listen, folks, everybody can afford a $5 pillow. They have the cutest pillows on Amazon. They have all kinds of things that it's a boy and it's monogrammed and all of that. I think I saw one for $6 the other day. It says it's a boy and you can have their name monogrammed on it. And people will leave. I mean, they'll never forget you. I mean, and the flatopotamus, as I mentioned, is like $12. You know, you can send somebody. Yeah, go ahead.
No, what I was going to say, great idea. And if for some reason someone couldn't afford the $5 or $10, just a simple thing that they could do is they could technically record a video, but because that's always free, they could always write a note, a handwritten note. One of the things I use in the greeting card system that we use, I send a note to the baby, not to the parents, and I tell the child, I'm like, I just got to congratulate you. Not only are you so adorable, But you are so smart to pick such amazing parents at such a young age. Congratulations. I look forward to meeting you in person in the very near future. That card, I write the same card almost every single time. But it stands out because it's again, being different, being creative, and showing you care.
That's awesome. I love that. You know, I was looking at your list of things, the goals for the top 50, knowing where 20% of their income comes from, their strategic relationships. It looks like the first 5 things on your list are very basic, very powerful techniques, but the last 5 things on your list get into they're a little bit more advanced. And it seems like, you know, understanding people's, the strategic relationships that they have with people, the trigger day, I would put that one in the top. You know, look at the different trigger days like birthdays, you know, births, you know, deaths in the family, all of that. And then the system, the last one, system value. Well, what could be and I'm just trying to come up with 5 simple things. I know we talked about triggers. We talked about goals, understanding the goals for your top 50 relationships. That's something you'll develop over time. How would you approach somebody? Let's just say you and I were friends on Facebook. Tell me how that conversation goes when you want to figure out what my goals are. Just give me a quick script, if you would.
So Tom, let's just go role play so they'll see exactly how we would do it. Would that work?
Okay. Yeah, that's great.
So are we doing someone that we haven't talked to in a while?
No, I mean, why don't we just do each other? I mean.
All right, so let's just do this. Tom, you and I have not, I'm just going to make this up. You're someone I haven't actually connected with in a while. I see you on Facebook. So here's the first question I'm going to ask you. So Tom, what are you most excited about in life now? It's been, I don't know, it's been 6 months. It's been 4 months. It's been a year. What are you most excited about?
Yeah, you know, Larry, I got a lot going on in my life. You know, my son's headed out to the Naval Academy. You know, Laura and I are just, we've been working on a vertical garden at our property and spending a lot of time around the house. And, you know, we're just, Haley, my daughter's working on a blogging project right now. She's been doing yoga and lost 25 pounds and she's doing great. Another big life change for us, Larry, is we'll be homeschooling our youngest. We're going to hold him back a year just to give him more of a competitive edge, you know, as he moves into high school. But you'll like this, Larry. I mean, the kid's, he's in 8th grade. He's already 6'1" with a size 13 foot, and he weighs about 180 pounds already. So he'll be a football star when he enters 9th grade. He's going to be huge. But I don't know. That's what's going on in my life. What about yours?
Well, you know, as a matter of fact, I literally just keynoted the conference of Hubert Humphrey, the one, you know, we both worked for him 20 years ago. So that was a really huge honor, considering he had Tony Robbins and Steve Covey and Muhammad Ali as his guests in the previous events that he's done in the years. I'm, as a matter of fact, I'm doing a lot of training in the network marketing industry, teaching these very simple principles that, you know, I've learned on how to network and stay in touch and follow up. So that's been very exciting. And, you know, so for me, I just want to get out there. And as a matter of fact, I'm getting ready to go into the Asian med spa surgery world. We're going to raise some money capital for that. So those are some of the high-level things that I'm working on right now.
That's very cool. Well, man, I appreciate you reaching out to me. You know, it's you getting married at all yet? Any girls coming in your life?
No, I'm single. I'm looking for a Jewish Brazilian, a lot of fun girl. Maybe you can cook me up with her. So I'm just curious. So, are you coming out to play anytime soon?
Yeah, we're going to be traveling quite a bit, though. Definitely going out to. We're going to be out Lake Arrowhead when we come out and bring my son out to the prep school out there. But we're going to be out there, I think, the first week of September.
Okay. Well, let's put it on the calendar. If I'm out here, let's definitely, you know, catch up while you're out here. So I'm just curious. It sounds like the kids are. So congratulations. Get into the Naval Academy. That is a huge honor. That's awesome. By the way, I got some great connections in the health space on the yoga. And by the way, I don't know the person's name. I could find it out for you because it's actually been some years since I last connected. The top experts in homeschooling. So I'm happy to get you the course that might be able to help you if you guys homeschool him. And out of all that, I'm just curious, what is, you know, what's the big thing you're currently working on, maybe in case I or my network, can help you in some way, shape, or form?
I'm launching a new digital currency company that's new in the United States, and we're a very early stage. As you know, it's a new industry. It's less than 10 years old, so we run into a lot of fear, a lot of resistance out there. People that are a little bit fearful about digital currency, and a lot of people think it's a scam. But it's a very developed industry. But that's kind of my big project right now, is introducing digital currency to people that I know.
So two things. You may want to check out some articles online that Mark and Reason has written about or been written in, because I know he's a big believer in digital currency with Bitcoin and other things. And there's another guy that I know who's a big venture capitalist. I'm part of the same group, networking group he is, and I know he's one of the biggest financier venture capitalists in that space. So maybe I could find some articles that might be of value for him, or value for you as well.
Yeah, that'd be very helpful.
So what charity or cause do you get fired up about these that you get behind?
Yeah, the main thing is just we've been contributing a lot of time to our school. Just being a weight coach, and our Christian school that we have in Fairburn has been kind of where our dedication for all our help is. I know that my son's been working with the Key Club and the Kiwanis and doing that, but our big focus has been on weightlifting, dedicating my time to helping the football team win championships. So that's where my service has been lately.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations. Well, listen, I know at some point soon I got to get to Atlanta, so when I do, let's connect. By the way, your wife makes the best chocolate chip cookies on the planet. Period. Story. Hands down. That might be a side business you might want to get into.
We've talked about that.
I love if she's willing to cook them. I'm willing to send them to people. They're that good. They're amazing. Or when you get out to LA, let's get put up.
Awesome. So very natural conversation, dialoguing back and forth. But the main thing is, I volunteered some information up front. I saw you writing it down as we were talking, enabled you to go back through the list of things that I talked about in an orderly fashion, which told me that you were listening. Because on a phone I wouldn't see you writing it down, but I'd be like, wow, Larry really listened to me. And I think that's one of the key things that you do so well is when you ask a question, you just don't start talking. And most people ask a question and they start talking. You ask a question and you listen, and until they're done talking. And I think that's a very important skill that most people don't have.
Yeah. Here's what I'll tell you. You and I, you made a comment early on. We both had tremendous work ethic. If I look back 25 years ago, when I first started in network marketing, I had great work ethic, big heart. I still have great work ethic. Still have great heart. The only difference between me today and 25 years ago is I have skills that I've learned, that I've worked on, that everyone else could go learn from to go short circuit their learning curve so they can have more success faster. It's not that difficult, but it's kind of like baking a cake. Martha Stewart can teach you how to bake a cake, or Emeril Lagasse, or Wilkie Cook. It's probably not going to turn out as good as theirs. But if they gave me the exact recipe, I did it the same way. Chances are pretty good. I can make a cake that tastes pretty good. So I just want everyone else to do the right things in the right order, ask the right questions, follow up, be organized enough. All the little things that we've talked about makes a big difference.
Yeah, well, we're getting towards the end of our time here, Larry, and I'm going to jump into. I know there's a lot of people online that are going to want to see a one-coin presentation that I'm doing, and we'll be doing that, concluding with Larry. So the most important thing that I hear, Larry, is change your mindset, change your paradigm. And I remember the story about Stephen Covey, and he talked about this. There was a guy that was on a subway train, and his kids were running around and being obnoxious and slapping people's paper, and there was a guy sitting next to him, and he finally got very, very irritated, and he looked at the guy and he said, "Why don't you do something about your kids? They're irritating everybody on the train." And the guy kind of looked at him and said, "I would, but their mother just died. And I don't know what to do." And that, I remember that story. When I heard that tape, it shocked me when I heard that story. And it was having that paradigm shift. That's what a paradigm shift is. And a paradigm shift in what you're talking about, Larry, is seeing the difference between take first versus give first. And
Yes.
what life-changing event are you going to have in your life to have that paradigm shift that if you're living a mediocre life, if you are not making the kind of money you're making, if you don't have the types of relationships that you want, you need to have a paradigm shift and shift from take first to give first. And maybe that epiphany came today. Maybe you're like, golly, I reflect on everything I've been doing. I call people up and all I want to do is try and recruit them. You know, instead of Larry's mindset where it's like, call them up to see what you can do to help them. Even if they're in another network marketing company, call them up and see what you can do to help them, because they may not be happy at their network marketing company and say, you know, I've been watching what you're doing. I'm real interested and I appreciate you calling me and asking me if I need help, because I'm not making any money at, you know, XYZ company, and I want to come on board with you because I like what you're doing. And I think that's the big paradigm shift that we have today to get everybody to make, Larry, is shift from take first to give first, and
Yes.
write those questions down that Larry talked about. How can I help you? What are your goals? You know, what are you working on right now? And then when they start answering them, have a pen and paper there and start writing it down. And then Larry, as you said, which I love, transfer those notes into your Google Calendar or in the notes section of their contact. Take time to put that in. If you hear about a birthday, put it in. If you hear about a baby upcoming, put it in. If you hear about a graduation coming in, put it in. Go buy gift cards. And Larry, one thing I learned about you, and I do this quite a bit, I bought some monogram stationery. It cost me about $110, but it's really nice monogram stationery. And just about everybody I meet or somebody that I've connected with that gives me their card or whatever at an event, I typically will sit down and write them a quick handwritten note that just says, hey, it was great connecting with you. Thanks for this. Appreciate you. And I just sign my name. And I have a book of stamps, you know, and I send those out all the time, you know, and I get messages back from people. They go, man, people don't even write these anymore. I mean, they're like amazed that they got a letter in the mail.
All at the end of the day, this is going to open up a whole new world of possibilities if people just take action, both personal, professional. I mean, the world could truly be their oyster, because your ability to connect will probably be the most important skill you could ever learn, because whatever you want or need, someone else already has. They have access to other people that might be interested in your opportunity. They have access to people that could use your product or service. Literally, they have expertise. They have knowledge. Or whatever. So now the only key is, are people going to enroll in your opportunity? Are people going to say yes to you with whatever the offer is, your product, your service, or whatever? On everything we just shared during our time together is just going to ratchet up your level of trust with them. You'll have more relationship capital, and they're more likely to say yes. So you'll have irresistible influence. You'll have that unstoppable confidence. And by the way, when you don't have to sell, when you don't have to feel like you're recruiting, you're going to feel so much less pressure. And when there's less pressure, people are more receptive to what you have to say. So it's simple strategies, but you got to implement these ideas. I want to hear them, their success stories, and I'd love for them to take me up on the Connection Challenge over the next 30 days, where they're going to go reach out to 3 people a day or 1 person a day and go make that, you know, appreciation or add some value. And if they want to really go deeper in that skill, would love to support them. And like I said, they can just check it out online at larrybenet.com/special. And Tom, send me the feedback on what ideas are going to take action on. And over the next couple of days, I just want to, in the next week or 2, 3, 4 weeks, I'd love to hear the results.
On mute. There we go. I'm off right there. Larry, I just want to give you some quick feedback from people. Let's see. We've got Angel. She said, I saw your post of yours and I wished Chris, I guess she saw Chris connected on your Facebook page, and she said, even though I did not know him personally, I reached out to him and thanked him for you, which was nice. And just a lot of nice notes. Tim Judd loves everything that we're doing and really appreciates the value that we're giving. Just a lot of really nice notes. No specific questions. I think that the information that we've laid out has been very straightforward. Tim said, just notes, say thanks for setting up the training with Larry, watching it, and he says stay awesome, and just lots of nice notes. So people are really appreciative of you taking the time. Larry, I really thank you for spending this time with us and giving your golden nuggets and networking, and hopefully we can have you back again, or get you to our Vegas launch that we're going to be doing in September, and have you come out there and teach people exactly what we've talked about today. But man, more power to you. I look forward to seeing you in LA, and I'll get back with you on Haley, and I'll be following up with you to see how I can help you as well. Take care, Larry.
I will follow up. I'll look forward to seeing the rest of the webinar presentation. And tell Tim thanks for Facebooking me.
Yeah, and also your ebook, you said larrybenet.com/ebook.
They can just download the free ebook. Yep.
And people really should learn about you first, understand what you're doing, figure out how they can give you value before approaching you.
Yeah, they should just, I'll give an example for me.
I mean, wouldn't that be the best thing to do? I mean, in your technique, wouldn't that be the best thing for somebody to do if they feel like what they've heard, that they have some, we have some mutual friends, or they have people that maybe they heard something about the prostate thing or the Boys and Girls Club, or maybe they've got a connection. That would be a great way to approach you, because you're very busy and you're looking to build value in people's lives.
Yeah, whether it's doing like a webcast like this, or a speech, or something, for another organization, or whatever it might be. At the end of the day, I think the question is just follow the recipe that we just laid out.
Yeah, amen on there. There you go. Larry, thanks for being with us. You have a great Saturday, and I'll catch up with you first of the week.
Thanks, bro.
All right, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get into our presentation. I know that we're running a little bit overtime today, but what a powerful presentation from Larry Benet on building those networks. Give first, don't take, and Larry certainly practices what he preaches, and I think you can see from his style and everything why he has become very successful, because he simply worked on those principles of sending out messages, carrying messages, creating value in people's lives, sending out those birthday notices, connecting, sending nice notes or even stuffed animals to people that are having babies. Those are very important events in people's lives, folks, and when you touch them on those days, that shows that you care, and it's very special. But I loved his tips. I think we walk away here going, let's all become VCs. Let's become value creators. And I mean, I look at OneCoin and what we're doing. Not only are we creating value from a standpoint of people creating wealth, but we're creating value in people's lives by letting them know what the next major technological shift is in the world. And when I talk to people about OneCoin, I look at what's going on in the world right now. Texas just created a gold-backed bank. Greece has gone bankrupt. I mean, we look at the events. Puerto Rico's right behind them. Iceland has had monetary controls in place since 2007. Where are we at in the United States financially? We could afford to bail out the banking industry and the real estate debacle, but can we afford to bail out countries that are going under and prevent havoc and chaos? I mean, I don't know where we are in the world, folks, but I know that I'm preparing my family for difficult times, and I'm a bit of a prepper. On the other hand, I'm optimist. I believe that capitalism and what we're doing in this country is the best thing in the world, but there's obviously some mechanisms in what we're doing that's not working that we need to fix. Explicitly our debt, which is putting us in a debtor's prison. But what can you do to ensure your future won't have any hiccups or any bumps in the road as we move forward in life? And I tell everybody, I look at what's going on in my life and my children. I'm really concerned for my children, because I don't know what this $15 trillion in debt is going to turn into. I do know in about 7 years or 8 years, it's going to turn into 22 trillion in debt. And I know in another 10 years, it's going to turn into 40 trillion in debt. And at some time, somebody's got to pull the plug. I mean, there's only so much money China can give us, okay, at the end of the day. So I found OneCoin through a great friend by the name of Sherry Pierce. And Sherry shared with me how I could own a currency that potentially could appreciate in value. And I said, you know what? That is something that interests me, because currently the currency that I have is depreciating in value. And that's not the kind of currency you want if you want to be creating wealth. And I said, well, I need more education on this. How can I learn more? Because I had made money in Bitcoin. I bought it at a very low price at $7, and we sold it at over 400. It wasn't a lot. I mean, we bought just, you know, 500 bucks worth. That's all we had at the time, but it turned into an amazing amount. And when I saw OneCoin come along, I said, wow, this could be our second chance. This could be Bitcoin 2.0 for us, where now we had the resources to put, you know, more money in, you know, where we can have the opportunity to potentially have a lot more money. And so I wanted education on it. And that's one thing I loved about OneCoin, is they offered educational packages on how to profit from digital currency. And I was like, you know, I like being cutting edge. You know, I look at what's going on in our industry right now, and it's scary. I mean, companies are going under left and right. Companies are merging. Sales are down on most network marketing companies over the last 2 years in a very big way. And I think people are losing focus. They're figuring out, you know, hey, I need to find another way, and they're looking for products that'll help them grow wealth. And that's what I like about what we're doing with OneCoin, is we are showing people how they can grow their wealth. And what a great educational thing to provide people. So, you know, as I get into the presentation, I'm going to walk you through a quick presentation on OneCoin. If this is your first time seeing it, just sit back. We're not going to ask you for any money today. We're not going to ask you to do anything today, because I don't think that's fair. I think because it's a brand new industry, we owe you the fact that you need to get educated on it. Because, you know, when people are uneducated about something, they have a tremendous amount of fear. And I was talking to one of my new reps the other day, and they were like, oh yeah, I got signed up. I went and told my friends about digital currency, and they all poo-pooed it. They all said it was a scam. And I'm like, well, if it was a scam, why would Mark Andreessen be in it? Why would all the top celebrities be endorsing it? Why would Draper Funds have just bought $40 million worth of coins? You know, why, you know, I look at all these big name people that are in it, and I'm like, why would they be in it if it was a scam? And I know that the smart money right now is in digital currency, which means I need to be in it, because the smart money was in Google. The smart money was in social media. The smart media was in e-commerce, you know, back in the late 90s and early 2000s. And I look at what's going on in the world. And when I was kind of formulating my presentation for OneCoin, one of the questions that came up for me was, what have been some of the major technological events in our lifetime that have changed our lives dramatically, that have totally redone the landscape of the world? And definitely TV was one of them. You know, and when TV came out, people were like, why would I want to watch people on TV? I can watch them live. That was what people said. It was before my time, but I did a lot of research on it, and that was the big thing. People were like, this is stupid. Why would we watch people on TV when we can see them live? And yet now look at the transition. CBS, NBC, ABC, that was the first generation of companies that made billions of dollars off of TV technology, the technology of TV. And then of course came CNN and ESPN and Fox. Okay, let's call those the 24-hour news channels. And how many billions of dollars was made off of the technology of TV? And then of course came sitcoms, Seinfeld, Cheers, I mean, you name it. There were so many shows that came out. Dallas, you know, how many of those shows, LA Law, it shows my age, okay? How many of those shows made billions of dollars off of the technology of TV? And then of course you got reality shows. You got Bachelor, you got American Idol, you've got Survivor. I mean, Survivor's been around, what, 10 years now? How many billions of dollars have those shows made off of the technology of TV? And then when you look at the next technology that came along, the internet, okay? How many of you said, oh, I'll never be on there? How many of them said that the internet would never be available to the masses, you know? And then you look at companies like IBM, Oracle, Sun Microsystems, look at the companies, Netscape, you know, Google. Look at the companies that put themselves in front of the technology of the internet and became multi-billion-dollar companies. Of course, then email came along. How many of you said, I will never send an email through electronic technology because it could be hacked, because people could see my communications? People feared email. It was like bad when it first came out. But then who got in front of it? Hotmail got in front of it. AOL got in front of it. Yahoo Mail got in front of it. Mindspring, for those that lived in the Southeast, was a real big internet email provider in the very beginning. And you look at the companies that put themselves in front of email technology, and they made billions and billions of dollars. Okay. Then of course you look at e-commerce. E-commerce came along. How many of you said, I will never put my credit card into a website? I will never buy anything online. How many of you said that? Amazon, eBay, Zappos, Overstock.com. I mean, massive websites now that control a percentage of the GDP in the United States. Okay, but how many of you said, "Oh, I'll never buy anything online"? And now I buy everything on Amazon now. It's amazing. It has everything I need. I needed a 5-channel amplifier for my new home stereo system the other day. I went on Amazon and I bought it, and it got delivered 3 days later. I mean, beautiful. So when you look at all those companies that put themselves in the path of e-commerce technology, they created billion-dollar companies. And then of course social media came along. Social media. How many of you said, I will never put my personal profile on Facebook? I will never put my family life and make it public. How many of you said that? Well, now billions of people around the world have Facebook pages, Twitters, Snapchats, Instagrams. How many billions of dollars have been made because of social media technology? And now, folks, I want to introduce you to the next frontier, the next technology that's going to create billion-dollar companies, multi-billion-dollar companies, potentially even trillion-dollar companies. And that's digital currency. Digital currency is something that is becoming very mainstream. Over 150,000 companies around the world take Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin was the #1 highest producing investment in the history of the world. From 2009 to 2014, it went from 10 cents to $1,203. 10 cents to $1,203. Your calculator doesn't have enough zeros to factor that return, folks. It was astronomical. Okay. And then I look at what's going on in the Bitcoin space. NASDAQ is starting to use the Bitcoin blockchain for documenting all of the transactions done on NASDAQ. IBM, Microsoft. I had a friend the other day I met with for lunch. He said, Microsoft doesn't take Bitcoin. I said, oh yeah, they do. And I went to the Microsoft website and I found the BitPay button on the Microsoft website and I sent him the link to it. I sent him the article in Forbes that said Microsoft is now taking Bitcoin. A lot of people say, oh, that's bull, and folks, 1-800-Flowers, you can buy flowers outside of the banking system. You go in and you buy some Bitcoins, you set up a Coinbase account. This is an exercise that I tell everybody to do. Go on to Coinbase.com, set up a Bitcoin account, buy a Bitcoin if you can afford $300 or buy a percentage of a Bitcoin, and go buy something. And realize that a major shift that you just did, you made a transaction outside of a currency that is controlled by a government. That's massive, folks. I mean, that's huge when you think about that. And it's kind of like people say, well, it's like the old days when we used to trade Beanie Babies and baseball cards. And that's a form of transaction as well outside of the US monetary system or a government monetary system. But how cool is it to know that if the dollar vaporized tomorrow, that you could still go online and you could send somebody, you could send 1-800-Flowers money and send somebody some flowers. Even if the entire US banking system got wiped out tomorrow, you could still do a transaction. And to me, folks, that's like the ultimate freedom. That's very, very cool. And I mean, look what's going on in Greece right now. Right now, you would be limited to how much money you could pull out every day. But if you were on Bitcoin, you wouldn't have those limitations because Bitcoin doesn't put in monetary controls. Okay. So when you think about that, folks, what an amazing technology to put the power of the monetary system back in the general public, into the community domain where that power belongs. And I'm excited about that. So that leads me to giving you an introduction to OneCoin. And I was going to do a PowerPoint, but I'm not, because I know we're limited on time. But I think when you hear my presentation today, you'll go, I have enough information. What I'm going to do when I'm done with this presentation, I'm going to put up a 29-minute slide deck that you can go to and you can watch on the same page. You can watch a 29-minute overview of what OneCoin is, with slides and education on how cryptocurrency works and all of that. But I think it's important for you to understand the founder of our company, Dr. Rusha Ignatova. She's got a doctorate in law. She's got a master's in economics. She was a former partner, associate partner at McKinsey, which is a very prestigious consulting firm. Very intelligent woman, voted 2-time Entrepreneur of the Year by her peers in Bulgaria 2 years in a row. She's a very, very bright woman, very, very talented. And she has built a company of over 450,000 people worldwide that love OneCoin, that are part of our community, part of our ecosystem, where we're transacting business now, folks, where we have the ability to own our own destiny, to have our own currency that is appreciating in value. In fact, since I personally acquired mine, and this doesn't go for everybody, but when I first got in, I was able to through the education that I received, I was able to get coins at 43 cents, and now those coins are $1.78. So my value personally has increased tremendously. And that's been one of the great benefits of being part of OneCoin and acquiring the education that they have from their educational packages. So when you think about what we're doing, folks, we're creating our own economy. We're creating the new economy. We're creating a culture of freedom where you can transact business regardless of what happens to the world's economic system. You can still live. I call it the ultimate plan B. I call it a way to survive, in case something were to happen. And folks, I got to tell you what, you really need to pay attention, because there's a lot going on right now. If Greece becomes the first country to operate on a non-governmental controlled currency, it's going to be an amazing thing. And right now they're heading that way. A lot of people in Greece are adopting Bitcoin right now, and hopefully they'll adopt OneCoin as well. But we're so early stage right now that maybe now is not the right time, but we are introducing it to people in Greece and saying, let OneCoin, bring it on. And so, when you think about OneCoin and what digital currency is, and I want to give you a visual in your mind. What are we doing? What are we building? We're building the PayPal of digital currency. And what do I mean by that? We're building a business where you can buy and sell currency. We're building a business where you can send and receive currency between each other. Okay, we're building a business where you can transact business with each other using OneCoin. We're building an environment where we have the ability to have a currency that, as our community grows, so does the value of the currency. Why? Because there's a finite amount of it. We can't print an unlimited number of coins. Okay, we have an algorithm that will only print 2.1 billion coins. After that's done, if there's a huge demand for our coins, it's just going to go up in value. And we have a system that is fueling the growth of our organization. And it's the ability for you to go out and earn money, sharing education with people about OneCoin, about how to make money with digital currency. And that's what we're doing, folks. We're out sharing. We're out giving. We're not out taking. Okay? We're out saying, hey, this is what we're doing. Take a look at it. Our community is growing in value every day. Would you like to be a part of it? So I always tell people, I feel like I'm doing people a favor when I share with them what we're doing with OneCoin. Now, whether they get involved or not doesn't matter to me. I wish they would, but the timing may not be right. They may not understand it yet. It may take a little bit of time. It may take an event in their life where they go, wow, I better get a plan B. And I mean, really all you have to do is watch the news to realize you might need a plan B. And so as we go through this, folks, and you understand that OneCoin has 5 educational packages ranging from $150 to 6,000 US dollars. Okay. And each one of those packages comes with tokens that enable you to gain access to our coins. And I'm not going to get into the mining operation, all of that. That requires education, but it's all built on the same platform, just like PayPal. So you log in, you get your educational packages, we give you your tokens instantly. You take those tokens to the mining operation, you put them in the mining operation, and about 30 to 45 days later, your coins show up in your account. The mining operation has to go figure out the equations to unlock your coins. Okay, now that may sound crazy, but that's the way mining works. That's the way the cryptocurrency industry works, that the coins have to be extracted from the mathematical equation. And to do that, you need supercomputing power to do that. Okay. And so part of your education, I had a 71-year-old man the other day, Richard. Okay. Richard went through our entire presentation. He watched all of the videos. And you know what he said to me? He said, I may not understand this 100%, but I know one thing. The 30-year-old X and Y generation kids know this stuff, so I need to know it. Because Richard understands in the next 10 years, cryptocurrency is going to be the next major technological shift that is going to change the landscape of the world that we live in. And if you get in now, if you start gaining education now, you'll be like, wow, I was at the right place at the right time. Our industry is less than 7 years old. Bitcoin started 7 years ago. They are the leaders. They are the first adopters of it. You know, and when you look at it, folks, it's not always an advantage to be a first mover in a space, because you make lots of mistakes and you kind of get pigeonholed. And that's what's happened to Bitcoin. 32-year-old white computer geeks, that is the 70% of the population of Bitcoin. Okay, that doesn't fit our 18 to 71-year-old demographic of people that want to be able to use digital currency in every aspect of their life. And that's what we're doing, folks. We've created a platform where anybody from 18 years old up to 80 years old can use digital currency in their everyday life. We've made it that simple. And in fact, I tell everybody Bitcoin today is simple. It's just people don't understand it. I mean, they actually have simplified it. So Bitcoin has gotten away from that complicated style, but they're already tarnished with the image of being complicated and being computer geeky and being rebels, etc. And that's the problem. OneCoin has come out, and the reason 455,000 members have joined us. In 7 months, we became bigger than Bitcoin. 7 months. Why? Because we cracked the code on how to introduce people to digital currency. People have to have education before they get into this, and that's what OneCoin offers. And so, you know, I talk to people about what we're doing. We've got a powerful compensation plan. We've got an opportunity for you to make money sharing this opportunity with others. And I won't get into the comp plan on this video, but I want you to know that we have one of the most powerful compensation plans in the industry. A binary with 4 levels of matching bonus, with lifestyle rewards, with direct sales bonuses, with fast start bonuses. It is a very, very powerful compensation plan that will reward you in a very big way. Now, results are not typical, but we have over 300 people that have already reached our millionaire club, meaning they're on target to make $1 million in their first 12 months with OneCoin. 300 people. No company in history has done that. No company in history has reached 455,000 people in 9 months. No company in history has done that. We're growing at 3,000 to 4,000 people a day. And here's the great thing. We just opened the United States. July 4th, we just opened the door, and we're all standing on the doorstep right now looking at 330 million people going, it's time for an Oklahoma land rush. We're here. So if you've ever wanted to be at the right place at the right time, if you've ever wanted to be at a point where you have access to the next technology that's going to create multi-billion-dollar companies, this is the next multi-billion-dollar technological shift. Mark my words, digital currency is not a scam. The biggest players, the smart money, the Richard Bransons, the Drapers, the Mark Andreessens, the Winklevoss brothers, the biggest people in the industry are investing in Bitcoin. They're investing in digital currency. And when the smart money is in something early on, folks, you really ought to pay attention, because that's where the huge money is made. And I'm excited to say that while we have a 450,000 person company around the world, there are less than 10,000 people in the entire United States that know about OneCoin, and there will be millions of people in the United States that will know about OneCoin by the time we're done. With the systems that we have coming out, with the video presentations that we do online, with the value that we've created for people today with Larry Benet, you know, we have an opportunity, folks, to go out there and absolutely give back in a very big way by lifting people up, by showing people how to create wealth. And that's the exciting thing that we're doing with OneCoin. So I just want to wrap it up there. I know we've been on for a long time, and I just want to say thank you for your time today. I hope that Larry delivered some tremendous value for you. I hope we gave you some tips on how to expand your influence and create affluence in your life. Not only by reaching out and helping people and connecting people and becoming a value creator, but that's really what we all are now. Somebody asked me the other day, they said, what's the title? Are we a distributor? Are we a member? What are we? Somebody said we're a trader. I will tell you right now, we are value creators. We are VCs. And I think it's very important as we move forward in our OneCoin business and in our lives in helping people, that we have that mindset of give first, become a value creator. So, hey, get back with the person who invited you to the presentation today. If you're not part of OneCoin, we invite you to become part of OneCoin. If you're part of another company, take these principles that we taught you and lift up the entire industry, you know, because the industry needs it right now. It's literally shrinking right now. The sales are dropping, and there's no reason for it. There's so many people out there in the world that need opportunity, and the network marketing industry is a huge answer to the unemployment problem, to the pain, to the financial disaster that we've had in this country over the last decade. And we have an opportunity, regardless of what company you're with, to go make a difference in people's lives. And I tell everyone, go make a difference in somebody's lives. Lift people up, help people get what they want, and you will get what you want. So this is Tom with OneCoin. Again, I want to thank you all for being here today. Thank Larry Benet for his time that he spent with us. If you're interested in OneCoin, get back with the person who invited you to this webinar. Right when I switch off this webinar, I'm going to upload a 29-minute, there'll be a 29-minute presentation available on OneCoin, and you can go watch that on the page that you're on. Folks, it's been a real pleasure. You have a great Saturday. Go spend it with your family. Enjoy that home-based business, and I'll see you on Sunday night for our next live hangout. Have a great day, everyone.